Okay, now let's take some time to go through the syllabus. If we were sitting in class today or we were in a normal semester, I would be handing out the syllabus. But since we're not, here we go. You can get to the syllabus by clicking this syllabus link or by clicking the big old syllabus button right there. And then you can download the PDF syllabus for here. So keep that with you just so you know what's going on with the syllabus. So here is the syllabus for this semester. It's got all the basic information with the syllabus. You are in a seminar course that's into 481 Scientific Writing. The meeting times are all online, so it's going to be So it's going to be an asynchronous course apart from when you have to turn in your assignments. So you don't need to log in at a certain time to meet with us. You just have to get your stuff done by the correct date. Okay, now it is worth 1 credit hour, but it is a writing intensive course. So this will count as your W credit for the university. So that means you're going to be writing a lot. All right, now here's my information just so you know how to get a hold of me. This phone number is my office phone number. If I don't answer, it's likely because I'm in class or doing a million and one other things. And so come and talk to me on Zoom. That's going to be the easiest way. So those are my current office hours and my email address in case you need to get to know me. So this is a little bit about the course. This is a course designed to prepare you for scientific writing, for writing scientific papers and submitting them for publication. You're going to go through every single step in that process, from starting out with looking at a journal, where to find the author guidelines, how to run an experiment and writing up that experiment, and then peer reviewing and editing for possible publication. So everything will be done online and through our InStars journal. Okay, there's no prerequisites for this course, but it is a W course. The way you get grades is through writing in this class. So keep that in mind. Here's all the learning outcomes. I really just want you to be able to write a good scientific paper and be able to peer review. And I have this set up so that you practice enough that by the end of the semester, you'll be able to run through peer review very, very quickly. You'll be able to run through creating a title and an abstract and whatnot very, very quickly. I want you to be able to do that. One of the most annoying things, I guess, about being a scientist is trying to do this writing, at least for people who don't necessarily like it. And the only way to get better at it is to practice. So we're going to do that. You'll notice that as we go through the semester, and I'll show you peer review in a little bit, but as we go through the semester, we're going to be doing more and more peer review. This is by design because I don't want you to be taking hours and hours to do a simple peer review. You'll be asked so many times during your career to peer review papers. I don't want that to take up your entire month. I want you to be able to do it in your 10, 15 minutes. Just get it done, get a good quality peer review finished. And then if you want to spend a little bit more time because it's a really in-depth paper or something, fine. But by the end of this semester, you should be able to do a peer review in about 10 minutes. Just really quick, bang it out, and be able to assess a good scientific paper that quickly. And we'll do that through practice. Now, there's no textbook or resources you have to go buy for this class. I will provide you with everything. I'll provide you with as many documents as I possibly can, with links and all that sort of stuff. Now, this is a fully online course, and there's no coordinated meeting times, but I have to put this attendance thing in there. Now, I will be saying over and over again this week. So I have in here that a class week as defined as the period of time between Monday and Sunday. So your new module will open early on Monday morning, and then your assignments will always be due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. unless otherwise noted. It depends on what's going on with finals week, when I'm going to have your final paper due. I want to make sure I have enough time to grade it and get feedback and all that to you before I have to upload grades. So that's the only time during the semester when something might not be done, might not be due at 11:59 p.m. on a Sunday night. So just sort of keep that in the back of your mind. Now, you will be listening to a lot of these videos and using Word and PDF documents and that sort of thing. So make sure you have the capability to download those and use those. There is a link on Canvas where you can find on-campus computer labs. So if something goes on with your computer, go on campus and use some of those computers that they have for you. They have all of the software you could possibly need to do your work. All right, all of your assignments apart from your peer reviews will be turned in electronically using Canvas. I have an assignments link up for you. The assignments will be associated with weekly modules. So after you go through all these videos, there'll be an assignment at the end that you can then upload. Your peer reviews, on the other hand, will be submitted through the journal site, through Instars, just like a normal peer review always is. Keep that in mind as well. Now, when you turn in an assignment, make sure that you're turning it in either in PDF format or in Word format, in a Word document. This is because I want to make sure that I can actually open up your assignment. If you are writing it on Google Docs or you're writing it on a proprietary bit of software on a Mac, it can be really difficult to open it up once it's gone through Canvas. So if you're using something other than Word, make sure you turn it into a PDF so that I can make sure I can open it. If I can't open it, you're going to lose points. So keep that in mind too. Now for late assignments, since everything is due at 11:59 p.m., I have this set up where I will take in your assignment, spend a couple of days getting feedback to you, and then I'll get you your grade, and then you can use that feedback on your next assignment. If you turn in an assignment late, that's fine, but you're going to lose 5 points per day that it is late. So this includes weekend days. So keep that in mind. When you look at some of the point values, it's not very much time that you can turn in late before getting a really low grade. I just want to be able to have enough time to actually give you feedback and actually help you get better at writing so that you can get a decent grade and actually learn what you're supposed to this semester. So, but I do understand that sometimes you just turn something in late. It happens, and that's fine. I want you to be able to have that freedom, just knowing what those consequences will be. All right, so these article reviews, you're going to hear me talk about these article reviews a lot. The article reviews, and I'll go over exactly how we're doing that on the Instars journal in a couple of videos, but it's basically about a page of summary that you're going to be writing up, and you're going to be making comments on the style, the grammar, the content, the formatting, all manner of stuff like that. And then you're going to recommend if this should be published or not. So this will be used by either you or a fellow student later on in the semester when we decide which papers should be published. You'll get everybody's reviews back so that you can create the best possible paper using that information. So write as much as you possibly can, or stuff that is actually really useful. Don't put just one or two words like it was good or it was bad. Actually write why. Also keep in mind that the authors of these papers are going to see your reviews. They won't know who you are. It is a blind review process. You will not know who the authors are, but they will see what you are writing. So make sure that you're being as appropriate as possible. Now, by the end of class, you will have reviewed about 36 to 40 some odd papers that you'll then choose from. So you've got a lot of reviews to do during this semester. You'll start with your very first one this week. And then at the end of the semester, you are going to choose 3 papers that you think you can edit enough to make publication worthy. And I will assign you one that will be then your paper to edit, to make it perfect, put your name on as the editor, and then it'll be submitted to the journal, and the journal will be published at the end of the semester. Now, we do have Canvas videos every week. We'll explain things. I will also, at the top of each week, I will put in a common mistakes or feedback, weekly feedback information. So these videos are sort of overviews of the common issues I saw that week with the writing assignment. So for example, when you're doing the introduction, I will keep a running list of, okay, I saw 5 or 6 people make this particular mistake. They didn't put enough references in, or the references were the wrong format or something like that. And I'll create a video that gets dropped in at the beginning of the week where you can see, or I can go over the most common mistakes from all of the assignments that week. This is something that I do when we're sitting in class. I start out the class going, okay, here are the 5 things I noticed. Make sure you focus on these things. It'll help you really focus on those aspects each week. So it'll be things that I'm really noticing. And different groups have different strengths and different weaknesses. So I want to make sure that we're really focusing on what you guys need to learn. If you all know how to do a certain thing, I'm not going to bother spending a lot of class time doing it. We have too much to do. So I will just say, oh, great. You all know how to write a scientific name. We'll move along with our lives. And I won't bug you about it too much anymore. And so I'm trying to make this as responsive as possible. So be prepared for that. I'm hoping to get those dropped in by Monday evening. So after I get your assignments looked at least a little bit, I'll do the drop in and then I'll go back and do the in-depth grading. Now, 80% of your grade this semester is based on your original writing, hence the writing designation, the W designation. 20% is going to be editing and formatting and things like that. You can expect to write approximately 45 pages of a single-spaced writing. This is going to be accomplished through these 12 different assignments, and you will have a chance to review and revise these assignments over and over and over again. So be prepared to write this amount. You'll notice that you get a little bit more in depth as you go along, and these are actually approximate pages based on what I expect for each thing. Yours might be a little bit longer, so it just depends on how much room you need in order to figure out or in order to write this paper or this assignment well. So here are all of the assignments that you're going to have this semester. This semester is out of 890 points total. You're going to start out very simple this week by setting up your journal profile and basically getting to the library and pulling some papers. So those first couple assignments are a little less grade-wise, simply because they're pretty straightforward and simple. Then we'll move on to formatting a paper. Then I'll teach you how to write a good title and an abstract. We'll move on to the title, abstract, and introduction. Pretty much every assignment, you're also going to have to write a title and probably an abstract for it, because those two things, those are one of the most important aspects of scientific writing. A good title, a good abstract will get people reading your stuff. So I want you to be able just to bang those out as quickly as possible. Then we'll get into materials and methods. Now, I will go into this a little bit more in a moment, but you're going to be going through these materials and methods in one of two ways. First, when I introduce how you do it, I'm going to give you some mock data, and you're going to write up materials and methods using mock data that I give you. Then I'm going to have you redo the materials and methods, because materials and methods is pretty much the first part of a scientific paper that is entirely new. You've read titles and written abstracts and read intros and that sort of thing before. You can use the information you've learned in other classes and in your English courses to do that. Materials and method, that is uniquely scientific, the way that we have to write those up. So I have you do that twice, just to make sure that you understand all the pitfalls and how to do it really easily and make it useful. So I'll give you mock data to begin with. You'll write those materials and methods. I'll give you feedback. You'll resubmit those so that you can make sure you get everything done. And then you'll do the results using that mock data. Then you guys are going to be running your own experiments. So I will have a video up talking about how to come up with a good simple experiment. I'm expecting you guys to run an experiment that is really, really straightforward. I don't want you having to spend, 15 full weeks taking data. You're not writing a thesis here. You're not getting your PhD and doing your dissertation. You are doing a simple project. So go through that video that I will show you about how to come up with a simple project. But for a rule of thumb, I want you to be collecting data maybe 1 or 2 days, like a weekend of data collection at most. I don't want you out there for months and months and months trying to collect all this data. So you want to come up with a very simple, straightforward question, a really simple method of collecting that data, and then you'll have that data for the rest of the semester. So at some point during the semester, I'll ask you to upload your original data. This is worth some points just so I know that you have that data and you can get it done. And then the rest of the semester will be used using your data. Now, it's okay if your data is negative data, you don't actually get any positive results at all, fine. If you only do one replicate, fine. All of that is just fine. I want you to go through that process though. So then after you upload your original data, you're going to redo your materials and methods using your own original data. Then you'll do the results again using your own original data. You'll do a discussion from your original data, and then you'll have your final scientific paper. So you have your first draft, and then that's going to be sent out to the rest of your peers in this class, and it'll be peer reviewed, just like you guys have been doing a peer review for these other papers. So you're going to peer review your peers' stuff, and then you'll come back and update that final scientific paper for your final paper using that peer review. Finally, we've got all your review papers throughout the semester. That's worth 215 points total. And then the final edited paper and publication in the journal is worth 50 points. So this is how you're going to earn your grades. And here's our basic grading scale. Oh, I need to fix that. But it's 90 to 100% is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is a D, and less than 69 is an F, or less than 60 is an F. So pretty straightforward. If you have any issues with your grades, if you don't understand why you're losing points, I will be using rubrics, and I will try to give feedback in as many ways possible. So you can come and talk to me about why you're getting graded the way you're getting graded and how to do better and whatever else you need. So feel free just to come and talk to me. Now, here's our basic course schedule for this semester. You're going to start out this week doing some very basic stuff. You're already going through all these videos, so that's good. And you've got 2 basic assignments to do. The first one is your journal profile, and then your writing assignment number 1. Go back up here. That's just going to be library access. And so I've got the information there for you. I want to know that you can get to the library, pull some papers, and do some very simple summaries of those papers. Shouldn't take you too long to do. Keep that in mind. Then you have your very first peer review due this week. So again, these peer reviews are due at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. And all you have to do is submit the peer review to the journal in order to get credit. I'll go in, I get notifications as soon as you submit them, so I can give you the notifications then. These peer reviews are worth 5 points each. So if you end up turning this one in late and you don't have a university approved excuse, you're going to get a 0 on it. Keep that in mind. All right. Then the next week, we're going to go into exactly how to write a scientific paper. This is going to be an overview of scientific writing. It's going to be going through the author guidelines, formatting the paper, that sort of thing. And you're going to peer review another paper. Then week 3, you're going to be looking at titles and abstracts. For these first couple of things, I'm going to give you a paper that has already been written, and I've just removed the title and abstract. So you'll see a video where I talk about how to come up with a good abstract, some of the tips and tricks that I've cultivated over the years on how to do it and that sort of thing. And you will write a new title and abstract for this already published paper. Then you'll do the same thing the week after, but you'll do a title, an abstract, and an introduction. Now notice by this week 3, you'll be peer reviewing 2 papers. Okay, so you'll get a little bit used to it, then you'll be peer reviewing a few more. Then you'll do that for a few weeks. We'll get into materials and methods. I'll give you some mock data. Then by week 6, or module 6, you are going to go through your materials and methods using feedback. This is sort of that second review of your materials and methods with the mock data, just to fix any mistakes or any problems or whatever else. But this week, I'm not having you do a whole lot this week other than some that resubmit, which shouldn't take you too long, and a couple of peer reviews. But this gives you the week to go and gather your own data. So keep that in mind. Right around February 22nd to 28th, that's when you'll need to be gathering data, because in 2 weeks after that, you're going to upload your original data. I'm going to make sure it's good to go. Then you're going to start using your own data by week 8. So you'll be doing the results using the mock data, finishing up your original data, moving on to 3 peer reviews a week, and then you're going to be using your own data from there on out. So then you'll do your own materials and methods from your protocol. You'll do your own results. You'll do your own discussion. And we'll get more and more. Now, rule of thumb, by the end of the semester, I want you to be able to do a good peer review in about 10 minutes. So you should be able to do 5 peer reviews in just under an hour, as if we were sitting in class. So you'll just get fast at it. I don't want you having to take 2-3 hours to do these peer reviews. There's no need for that. You want to be able to bang these out as quickly as possible. Now, you'll notice there's a couple places where there's no new lessons. This is because I want to give you as much time as possible to really dig into your own paper, to update it, to make it as perfect as possible, to do all the peer reviews. Then back in April, you're going to start choosing those papers for final publication. So after you have reviewed a bunch of these papers that have been submitted, I'm going to have you fill out a simple survey saying which 3 papers do you think you can make publication ready. Now, when I keep talking about publication ready, what I mean is your job as the editor is to go in and add content if it's needed. Sometimes students who are uploading these papers or submitting these papers don't have good enough background in there. Maybe they didn't do a good lit search or something of that nature. So you can add that. You can actually add content to these papers as that editor. That is part of your job. And you're going to make sure that all the formatting is correct, all the information is correct, that it's good, sound science, that sort of thing. So once I get your guys' choice, I will assign you one of the papers to review. Then you're going to be reviewing each other's papers, and then you're going to update your final paper using that peer review feedback. And then your absolute final assignment is going to be turning in your original paper, and it'll be uploaded to or submitted to InStars for possible publication next year. So all this peer review that you're doing, about half of these papers are students from last semester who did this exact same thing. Then you've got the last week to edit those final your chosen papers and turn that in so it's ready to go and be published. So that's our basic schedule. I'm not anticipating too much of a change, but you never know what's going to happen. So if something does change, I will let you guys know in a myriad of ways. I'll put up announcements and send you emails and all manner of stuff like that, and probably do a couple of drop-in videos just like this. Okay, now here is some basic other course information. You need to be able to access Canvas. Here's all of our university policies, all the things that you normally see on a syllabus. A couple of things I do want to mention. First and foremost is this American with Disabilities Act. We have a really robust disability student services. So if you have a learning disability, if you have something going on that you need a little bit of extra assistance in order to read a lot of papers or to write a lot, or you have ADHD and you can't really sit down and listen to me talk at you for 30 minutes, work with the Disability Student Services as soon as possible. We will make it work. So I'm severely dyslexic. So you'll notice in a lot of these things that I've done my best to try to find all the dyslexia problems on here. But every once in a while, you're going to see that there's a spelling error or a typo or something weird where I just don't see the letters have flipped around. This is something that I didn't get diagnosed until I was in grad school. So I had a real rough time going through school, especially in college, and especially with writing, because I cannot spell worth a damn, because I just cannot see the different letters. They look the same, even if they're flipped back and forth. So I have to rely a lot on the spell check and grammar check and things of that nature to catch some of these issues. And that caused a lowering of my grades quite a bit. When I got into grad school, I found that there's all these resources out there. When I finally got diagnosed, they went, oh, that's why you've been having all these problems. Now, here's all these things to help you manage it. And it was night and day different. So I don't want you to have to go through that pain in the butt the way that I did, where you're getting all these low grades, you don't understand, you're doing your damn best, and there's nothing you can do to fix it. We have the resources for you. If you need some sort of assistance, we're just trying to get you on the same level playing field as everybody else. So it's not something like I'm trying to give you extra free stuff. It's just, digging you out of that hole so you can all be on the same playing field and learn the same things. Okay, so Go and check this out as soon as possible if you think something is going on. Got the links there for you. If you want to come and talk to me about what we can do, come and talk to me. I want you to be able to write by the end of this. And then finally, these Title IX statements. This is a relatively new edition, and what this states is if there is some sort of unsafe activity in any way, if you have been sexually harassed, if there has been threats, if there has been racism, anything that makes it an unsafe learning environment for you, I'm what's called a mandatory reporter. And so you can come and talk to me, and I can take it from there. I will report any of these issues. We can keep you confidential if you don't want to be involved, or if you've been the victim of discrimination or harassment or something, and you don't necessarily want your name out there. That's fine, but I will report it because we want to make this as safe of a campus as physically possible. So come and talk to me about it. We will fix it, come hell or high water. All right, so all that information is on there. All right, so that's basically how the semester is going to go. Let me know if you have any questions.